Welcome to Tom Sox Weekly, presented by UVA Orthopedics. I'm Brendan Farrell.
And I'm Dylan Castaigne, and we have a great show for you this week. First, we'll tell you the story of a Tom Sox player making a triumphant return from injury. Also, we'll recap our first ever Women in Sports Night.
After missing out on the 2020 season, the Charlottesville Tom Sox got a little more creative with their 2021 promotions, including a Women in Sports Night, which is tonight, and it's all about supporting female athletes and beyond. So I went out into the Tom Sox community to talk about how they felt about this new promotion.
It means a lot coming from someone who plays a sport and knowing that it's not looked at the same as men, so it's kind of interesting and fun to know that there's people who are interested in it and come to the game and watch.
It's nice to obviously be surrounded by so many other great athletes in so many different sports, and it's nice to kind of have that recognition and have that.
I think that they deserve the same attention because they put in the same amount of work, and they're working towards the same goals as us. So there's no difference really.
It makes me happy, I guess. I like it better than men's sports because I can relate to it better.
Well, I really do like sports, so it was kind of fun for me to hang out around here.
Yes, I enjoyed it. I like watching baseball games and watching sports games, so it is a nice thing to do this night.
I think it's really good. I think it's good to just have something to appreciate the women, in sports, especially because baseball is obviously a male-dominated sport. It's a male sport, and I think it's good to just bring it up and just appreciate women all the time, everywhere we go.
Girls play the same sports, they have just as much fun with it, so they should be recognized all the time too, just the way men are.
Yeah, I'm watching the Olympics, and I watch a lot of soccer games and stuff like that.
Tennis, really good sport. Love Serena Williams. Love Simone Biles. She's my favorite.
I love it personally. I was so excited when there was the first NFL ref that was a woman, because I know that it's very controversial. I personally thought that was awesome. I think women are qualified to do everything that a man can do, so I was super excited about that.
You have to be fair on both sides. It's not fair for all the spotlight to go, just to male athletes and all that.
Yeah, no, it's just a really nice gesture, and it's nice to see, again, different people from the university, and just to have a night where you can just kind of look at each other and be like, hey, we're here being recognized somewhat, so while also, again, supporting another team, another sports. It's fun. It's awesome.
I think based on those reactions, it's safe to say that Women in Sports Night will be a staple for Tom Sox seasons to come. For Tom Sox TV, I'm Kelly Warner. Go Sox!
While our reporters here for the Tom Sox are experts in front of the camera, they aren't that way on the diamonds.
Our Lauren Nilsson learned a few tricks from Tom Sox pitcher Zech Haney.
Hello, Charlottesville fans. As a recently converted baseball fan, I've had to learn a lot of things about the sport. Today, I have Charlottesville pitcher Zech Haney with me to teach me about the different types of balls you can throw.
Happy to be here.
We're so happy that you're here. So, walk us through some of the essentials that all pitchers need to know.
Well, your main pitch, so it's going to be your fastball. It could go one of two ways. You could throw a four-seam grip, which is, it's four seams because it's going over this seam, this seam, this seam, and this seam. And then other guys will throw a two-seam grip fastball, which is going over these two seams right here. So those are your main pitches for, the strikes, and that's your fastest pitch. And then you have breaking balls, or sliders, curveballs, and they're mainly off of that side of the horseshoe. You always want your middle finger on that horseshoe. And when you come through, that finger, so your middle finger, the pad of your middle finger right there on top of the ball. And the last pitch that a lot of people throw is a changeup. So I throw a circle change, which is you make a circle with your index finger and your thumb. And you bring it over the top, just like a regular fastball would. When you come out front, you want this finger to point down, which is pronation.
So which one's your favorite to throw?
I like my curveball. I've always liked my curveball. I think it's my best pitch, so that's probably the most fun to throw for me.
All right, should I try some out?
Yeah, I want to see it.
All right, let's see. Why don't you go first?
Okay.
And show me. We'll start easy. We'll start with the fastball. When I pull my arm back.
Yeah.
Any kind of strategy? Where should my feet go?
Well, your feet should be in line with your catcher,
okay,
which is kind of tough right now. But yeah, so when you go through,
okay,
you're gonna pick your left foot or your front foot up,
okay,
right? You're gonna go through and step with your left foot.
Okay.
All right, let's see it.
All right, you ready?
Let's bring the heat. Oh, yeah.
How long have you been pitching?
Oh, since I've had a ball in my hand, since I could throw. I'd say, I was probably, 1, 2 years old, throwing a wiffle ball in the backyard, but I didn't start taking pitching seriously probably until sophomore year, junior year of high school, and then I picked it up, and it's obviously what I do in college now, but yeah.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so the four seam I think I'm a little confused about.
Okay.
So that's two seam, right?
Yeah, that's two seam.
Okay.
So your four seam is literally same two fingers using, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it, right there.
Do I move my hand?
You
Like the
can,
other fingers?
You can put these two on the side if you want.
Okay.
Or you can honestly, since your hands are kind of small, you can put 3 fingers on top.
Okay.
It's whatever's comfortable for you.
Okay. Catcher's over there.
Oh yeah.
Feet are here.
Yep.
Lifting the foot.
Lifting the foot. Boom.
All right, you ready?
This last pitch is a changeup. That circle change that we were talking about. So obviously making the circle with your index finger and your thumb. And you want to get through and going to pronate at the end. So this is, you're supposed to throw it, you're supposed to try to throw it as hard as your fastball. I try to throw it as hard as my fastball because you want it to look like your fastball as long as you can. And it's going to be just slower. So, you ready? Change up. Just like that.
Yep.
Circle. Yep.
Yep.
Perfect. It's good grip. Make it comfortable.
When you say pronate, going more.
So you're going to go, your hand's going to go that way. You're going to pull across.
Okay.
Try to think like you're taking your finger, your index finger, and hitting your left shoulder.
Okay.
You're not actually going to be able to, but just a thought process.
Sounds good. All right, you ready, Brendan?
Yeah, that was like the best pitch
That was
yet.
the best one yet?
Yeah. We all
right,
did.
I might end on the high note if you think that was a straight.
That's a good call.
All right, thank you so much for watching. For Tom Sox Weekly, I'm Lauryn Nilsson.
I'm Jake Haney.
Go Sox.
Go Sox.
Coming up on the show, we will question another one of the Tom Sox players in our ever-popular Out of Left Field segment. We'll also catch up with the player who's battled back from injury this summer.
But first, let's take a moment to thank one of our wonderful sponsors, UVA Orthopedics.
Tom Sox Weekly is presented by UVA Orthopedics. University of Virginia's Orthopedic Department is eager to announce the establishment of a state-of-the-art, comprehensive center for orthopedic care, the UVA Orthopedic Center at Ivy Mountain, co-locating existing clinics with an outpatient surgery center, imaging, physical therapy, and administrative and physician offices. Set to open in early 2022, the new UVA Orthopedic Center at Ivy Mountain will be a home base for healthcare professionals focused on helping patients improve their athletic performance, recover from injury, or prevent future incidents.
Welcome back to Tom Sox Weekly. With R. Kelly Warner busy covering Women in Sports Night, we turn to one of our other fantastic reporters to take our players out to left field.
Our Zech Lambert got his first chance to ask the tough questions. Check it out.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined out here in left field today by a guy who spends a lot of his time out here, Tom Sox outfielder and left fielder Logan Amos. Logan, thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
So, I want to start off just by asking a question that's personally been on my mind all season long. Growing up, how often did you hear swing and a miss because of your last name?
A lot, and I've heard it a lot here already. Away places ain't even here.
You see, it's just such low-hanging fruit. I mean, there's like such more creative things. Like I think the name Swing and Amos is like a pretty cool name, but Swing and Amos is just really basic to me. So, what is your favorite professional sports team?
Boston Red Sox.
How'd you wind up as a Red Sox fan?
So, when I was younger, being like from Powhatan around Richmond area, I wasn't a Nationals fan, so my first T-ball team was the Boston Red Sox, and that's why I stayed with.
It's respectable. Now, do you have like a go-to pregame meal or anything?
Pregame meal, I like to keep it light. I'll have like an energy drink and maybe like a banana or a fruit bar or something.
Nice. Do you have any other kind of like pregame rituals that you do?
I always park in the same spot here at Crutchfield. That's what I try to do.
Awesome. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
100%. And Sheets or Wawa?
Wawa.
Do you have a go-to order at Wawa at all?
I like the barbecue chicken quesadilla or the buffalo chicken quesadilla.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with Wawa. Well, appreciate you taking some time to talk with us today, and best of luck the rest of the postseason.
Thank you.
Clemson catcher Cooper Ingle started the season for the Tom Sox in their opener on June 5th, but returned to action after injury on July 19th against the Front Royal Cardinals.
Our Brooks Day caught up with Cooper to talk about his road to recovery and his goals for the rest of the season.
Hey Tom Sox fans, I'm here with Cooper Ingle. Cooper, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you for sitting down with me. Now, you have a really interesting story this summer. You came in from Clemson ready to play for the Tom Sox, and you injured your finger the first game of the season. How did that make you feel? You know, you're coming into Charlottesville, you're ready to play, and you're hurt the first game.
I mean, you know, I was really excited to come and meet a lot of the new guys and, you know, get on a new team and play some good baseball this summer. And, you know, it just happens that, you know, I get hurt in my first at-bat, but, you know, the University of Virginia has a really good hand surgeon and program there, so I've been able to do a lot of rehab there. But I still try to stick around the field and hang out with the guys because, you know, it's just so fun.
You know, I was a previous former college athlete myself. I know what it's like to go through rehab and to go through physical therapy. So what exercises did they make you do? How often were you going in there, you know, to get better?
Well, after surgery, I'd say it was probably 2 weeks after. You know, it's just a lot of, like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a lot of, you know, just forearm stretches and, you know, really stretching out, like, even the nerves, like the muscles too, just so you can get a lot of that mobility back that, you know, you didn't have before.
Yeah, and you mentioned you had to get surgery for this procedure, this injury. What was that like for you? You know, the doctor telling you have to undergo surgery right now.
Yeah, I've never, you know, this was my first, like, true injury that I've ever had playing sports, so it was definitely new to me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, going into the surgery room that morning, it was a little nerve-wracking, but, you know, they took care of me there, so.
Yeah, we're glad to see that you're back, you're doing well. Now, you're back, perfect timing here, you're ready to play in the playoffs now. What is your goal for the rest of the season and the playoffs coming off your injury now?
I mean, obviously staying healthy, but at the same time, you know, I want to finish the season strong and, you know, hopefully win a championship, so.
Definitely, and now have you kept in contact with your coach at Clemson? You know, did you have to tell him, hey, look, I had to get surgery, but I'm going back to play and I'm going to be ready in the fall?
Yeah, I mean, he had called me, I think, a week after my surgery, and his impression was that I wasn't going to play the rest of the summer. I was just going to shut down, but, you know, I really wanted to, you know, come back and get some at-bats and get behind the plate for a little bit, so.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm very happy to see that you're back on the field, and I know a bunch of other Tom Sox fans are, so thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Before we let you go, let's take a quick look at our upcoming playoff bracket.
That's all the time we have for this episode of Tom Sox Weekly.
Until next time,
Go Sox!